Hello, 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 hello. From your perspective, it will not have been all that long, but from my perspective, it's been 2 months. Yay!
Jesse.
So we're back. It's been a while for us, so you're gonna have to forgive us as I have to do a little bit more in-depth recap. Um, which is like I usually do a recap, but I'm gonna have to be a little bit more um descriptive,
Extra.
I think, in this particular one, just because it has been a long time for the group of us. So this is Saul's Rest Arcastorm. Do y'all remember what characters you're playing?
Yep.
Cool.
How could I forget?
Or less. It's fine. I lick stuff.
Yes, that you do.
I mean,
that you do.
I am portraying the quite erudite Melisandus and Narleth Valaxian Aleadar. Very unforgettable.
Say that 5 times fast.
Melisandus and Narleth Valaxian Aleadar. 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 Melisandus and Narleth Valaxian Aleadar.
Well done.
Thank you.
Now shush.
But we're not allowed to call you Mal. Only except for in extreme circumstances.
I fully goaded him into doing that, so I can't really yell at him for that.
No, you really can't.
Nope.
So the last time we played, weirdly enough, we got interrupted by a medical emergency. Everybody's fine. Nobody got dead. Nobody had to go to the hospital. It was just kind of a scary thing. But everybody's okay. It's been 2 months. Everybody's healed up. But yeah, so the last show you got was cut off at the midway point. So we're gonna pick up from where we left off. The group is all hailing from, for the most part, from different eras within the Gravendale timeline. Chapel and Hale being the only two coming from the same time period. All of them got brought to the spot of the Red Dragon Inn. All of them went below the Red Dragon Inn, and all of them found themselves in a little place out of time. There they encountered the mysterious individual who calls himself the Magister, who tested their ability and resolve to make sure that they were whom he hoped they were. And then they found themselves in his little study. You're not really sure. Wherein he explained that all of time, and as a result, potentially the entire multiverse, is at risk. The crux of the way the timeline functions in the fantasy realm that we are playing in is that history only exists because there's somebody there to remember it, and that somebody in this particular instance is a time dragon, and the time dragon is beginning to forget. Now the Magister cannot get involved directly. I do not recall if he said specifically why. But he did say that he could not get involved directly, so he's recruiting the group of you to go and investigate and suss out the anomalous happenstances throughout the various bits of history, and deal with it accordingly.
He did say why, if you're interested in his reason, or we can
what was the reason he gave?
Because he spent the vast majority of his life outside the time stream, so him intervening would cause a huge paradox and be super bad.
Considering we're trying to avoid the paradoxes.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, in the as sort of a test, so to speak, as to, not a test, but sort of a way to gauge Well, I mean, I suppose it is a test of sorts, but basically, he was going to give you some experience dealing with one of these anomalous individuals, and he was going to send you to a place where one had been trapped for some time to to deal with accordingly. And that was where we left the very last game. Before you even had gotten to where that was going to be. But before we continue, we have to do what is, I'm sure to this point, a very disconcerting D100 roll from each of you.
Did we have to do this before? I don't remember this.
Every single game I've had you roll a D100.
Yeah, I think this is a thing.
Yes. I think the last time I rolled exactly 100.
You did.
It's the only reason why I really remember it.
All
Still
right.
not entirely sure if that was good or bad.
Nothing's happened yet, so good.
Guess.
All right, so Chapel, what did you roll?
86.
Okay. Hale, what did you roll?
84.
Excellent. Melisandus, what did you roll?
53.
Excellent. Anissa, what did you roll?
85.
You guys are all up in the high 80s, or high to mid 80s. Lyle, what did you roll?
I said 53.
22?
Okay. All right. Nothing happens. It will eventually. It will eventually.
That's
There's just like one random number from 1 to 100 that as soon as somebody rolls that random number, it hits the fan.
probably.
I mean, if you want, I can tell you the the number that you need to roll is increasing with each game.
Cool.
Gotcha.
It'll be fine. It's fine.
Sure.
But Lyle's fine this game.
This game.
How much is Lyle fine by?
Lyle is fine by at least 22.
I don't understand.
You weren't meant to understand. That's
All
the point.
It's probably a
Rude.
cumulative total group roll. And we made the target before Lyle's roll.
Yeah, you all rolled very, very high.
That would be the hope.
All right. So, where we left off, the world had faded to sort of an inky darkness, and it reconstitutes itself in a small, somewhat dark room. Can everybody see the map on Roll20?
Yes.
Good. So, why is that doing that? That should not be doing that.
I feel like that question is asked every game.
Oh, I know why that's doing that. That's because I am on the wrong. So I have two instances of Roll20 up right now. I have one that the stream can see and one that I can see.
Mm-hmm. Did you
I was on the
swap
wrong one.
them?
Yep. I was on the wrong one.
Point of interest, as I'm the note taker. Did the Magister tell us what we're supposed to be doing with Harrow? Like, did we get that explanation? Because all I had is like, we're going on a training exercise. Are we killing him?
The Magister was not specific as to what you needed to do. What he did specifically say is that he is the problem, and he needs to be dealt with.
Does that mean he needs ice cream so he feels better?
The Magister
Doesn't.
I mean, you did not ask that question, so
Dealt with sounds like we got off him, but it could.
the Magister was fairly non-specific as to what was going to be involved in this.
He just needs therapy.
Pretty much.
Or council.
Yes.
Council.
You know what I wish? I wish I had sponsors, and I wish my sponsor this time was like Talkspace or something like that. So I could just be like, yes, and you too can have Talkspace. But they're not a sponsor, so hey, Talkspace, if you're interested, hit us up. At any rate.
Does that mean we
So-
get a discount?
Or BetterHelp. I like them better.
No, it doesn't mean we wouldn't get a discount. What we would get is a certain percentage of the people that signed up to Talkspace through our services.
Or BetterHelp.
Or BetterHelp. I would honestly take either one at this point. I actually used Talkspace for a while.
I use BetterHelp right now.
That's the one I'm familiar with, but I have since moved on to a more formal therapy setting. Not that the entire internet needs to know my mental health shit, but at any rate,
we're all in that like millennial zennial space, so we all go to therapy or have at some point. We're all fucked.
At the age of 41, I am middle-aged, and so technically this could be my midlife crisis. I could just lean into that.
Your midlife crisis is taking care of your mental health?
Yep.
I mean, I'm here for that. That's a great midlife crisis to have.
It is. It's just a very
we can't
phrasing.
Millennials can't even do that, right? We're killing the midlife crisis industry.
It's not like I can buy a fucking Corvette or something. I mean,
we do kill everything. Anywho,
I can't buy a sports car. Nobody will let me.
Dear God, no.
There's so many.
I mean, you can buy one. You just can't drive it.
It's true. You do not need a license to buy a car.
I could drive it when I come up. You should definitely buy a sports car.
Not buying a sports car.
A blue T-top, like Stingray.
I'm going to spend that much money on something stupid and frivolous. It's going to be something cool for my basement, like a gaming table. At any rate.
I'm sure you could buy a bunch of gaming tables for the amount that car would cost.
I mean, it really depends on how much you want to spend on a gaming table, because I guarantee I can find a gaming table that's worth $100,000.
I mean, probably from Wormwood or something, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, when Wormwood does do gaming tables these days.
I know.
Anyway.
Or that one company from Gen Con that has those really cool tables.
We're going to game now.
Where did that sound come from?
It's from Roll20. Melisandus is rolling a bunch of D20s.
Yes.
Oh,
because we're
sorry.
Sidetracked. At any rate, so you appear in this space. It appears to be almost identical to a space that I used in a game the other night, but that's okay because that game wouldn't have been streamed.
and
if I haven't seen it, it's new to me.
Well, Brian has definitely seen it. So, but at any rate, so you find yourself in this space. The room that you're in is as you kind of see it. I'm going to so just as a reminder, words are hard, you all. The rainbow token is movable by anybody, so if it's in the way or whatever, feel free to move it around. Yes, that's how that works. Now put it back. Is that Jess? I bet that's Jess. That feels like a Jess thing.
I only moved it once. Out of the room, but once. We're doing great tonight, you guys.
So, just for those of you who are watching, this is pre-recorded. It is late on a Sunday evening, and I say late like it's 7. It's not uber late, but we're old. Some of us are ill. Like it's a whole thing. Anyway,
and it's been like a seriously like.
It's been a long couple of months, and it's been like last week was a long fucking week.
Yep, and I cannot imagine the fact that tomorrow is Monday.
Let's
right.
think about it too.
Can we just fire Monday? Because seriously,
yes, Monday's fired.
Yes.
Can we just Sunday 2.0? That's what I want right now.
I would
like
like,
that.
yes. I would like more Sunday. I'd like more
So,
weekends.
you are standing in this room. It's reasonably well lit. It's actually fairly clean, all things considered. It does look like it's old, like it's an old building. Actually, to that end, chapel. As you're standing here, you kind of glance around and you recognize this space. You built this. Now it's old. Like you built it maybe a year ago, and it looks like it's gone through a lot more than a year. But it may still be, but this used to be a chapel, a temple space.
Just gonna head over to the wall here and just put my hand on the wall to kind of take it in.
You kind of run your three-fingered hand over the wall, and you kind of go down to the corner of one of the stones, and you glance down and you see the little notch in the corner that you just, because of the nature of you putting the stone and using the mortar and just the way your hand is shaped, that always just kind of ends up in the corner of one of the bricks when you lay it down. And you recognize, like, you actually can like reach down and kind of stick your finger and it still fits.
Fascinating.
So, what do you do?
These doors are shut in front of us.
The doors are shut.
The way is shut. I would like to. Like, what does the air smell like? Is it like, that like really stale smell of like this air hasn't moved in like years? Does it have like that stale air smell, or is it?
What is your passive perception?
20.
Jesus. The air here is it's not stale, but it's a little thick. You smell, honestly, you smell the 20. A lot of like, not necessarily emanating from this room, but as you're kind of like sniffing close to that door, you get a whiff of something metallic, a little coppery. It smells a little like blood, but old blood, or blood that somebody has taken pains to clean up. Like, you're pretty sure a normal, because you've dealt with normal people, normal humans before. Basically humans that don't have your scent ability. You're pretty sure that to a normal human without the scent, it would be, you wouldn't pick it up.
I think Hale, this is not what David would do, but what Hale would do is go up, open the doors, and swing them wide open.
Okay, you open the doors and swing them wide open. They open
As
without...
he's
I'm really
soon as-
sorry. Everything froze for me.
Weird.
So
Hale walked up to the doors and flung them wide.
okay, yeah, but like it froze when you were describing what Lyle smelled.
Oh, I apologize.
I put a thing in the chat, but I don't know if it went through since my internet was freaking out.
It did not, or at least I didn't see it.
Okay.
What you smelled, so we're going to back up a second so we can catch Phoenix up on what happened. What you smelled was sort of old, what smells like old blood, or blood that somebody has taken pains to clean up. And you're fairly certain that somebody without the capability of scent would probably not even notice.
Okay.
At which
I
point Hale
will.
walks up and flings the doors open.
Hold up. I was okay. So I thought that Lyle was contemplating what to do, and
Okay.
not that the internet had frozen.
Gotcha.
So
So we'll
that
go
was
ahead
a
and back up.
response.
Lyle, what?
Yeah.
Okay. So Lyle would mention to the group that it smells like old blood. We should be cautious.
Melisandus will do his usual of spending 10 minutes to ritually cast Detect Magic.
I will order Vigil to protect
for-
Melisandus.
For the sake of this, I actually suspect you still had it up from last game.
Dear gods, please, yes.
Thought we took a break, but okay.
He could have cast it before he walked through the door that led us here.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. Yes.
That
I
works.
Yeah,
love-
let's go with that.
Yes.
All any of us remember that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that works for me. I also want to say that this whole time now, I have had a variation of "We built this city" going through my head. We built this chapel. We built this chapel from rock and stone. Built this chapel.
Oh, Miss Smalls.
What's this weed?
See, I
you're talking
said.
That's awesome.
I said
Hey.
we needed to do a musical episode.
Okay, fine. They built this chapel. They built this chapel from rock and stone. Built this chapel. I just felt that I needed to share that.
That's
Yes, that is good. Thank you for sharing this.
Brian, are you in a position where you can bump your sound just a little bit? You're real quiet.
Yeah, hold on a second. Is this better?
Yes,
How about this?
much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a little tricky to hear you.
I don't have the area mic in, so I'm just going off my laptop.
Gotcha.
Mm.
No worries. Alright.
With Detect Magic up, does Melisandus see anything?
Ooh, good question.
That is a good question. Melisandus, as you have Detect Magic and you're kind of glancing around, go ahead and make an investigation or a perception check.
I will go with investigation. I'm much better with that. Yeah, that will be a nat 20 for 27.
Nice. You glance about, and you pick up trace amounts of spell residual aura, residual spell aura. I'm not dyslexic, you are. And you catch a hint of conjuration. You catch a hint of more than a hint. You catch a hint of conjuration. You catch a much stronger abjurative magic coming from kind of the exterior wall. And you catch what you are rapidly, what you are now familiar with as chronomancy.
Okay. Does there seem to be anything still active, or are these all...
The abjurative effect seems to be active. You suspect that maybe what's keeping Harrow here? The conjuration, as you're kind of studying it a little bit, you're recognizing it's from other individuals that have entered this area similar to the way you entered this area.
Okay, so a lot of teleporty stuff that has happened.
Teleportation and plane shift, I believe, are both conjuration spells.
Gotcha. Am I able to tell what specifically the abjuration spell is that's actively going?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
As
Ooh.
this is happening, I will say that this is about the time where Hale's patience for being cautious and investigating probably ran out, so he will probably do
So now the doors get opened
that
up.
before now.
And not very well, or not very good on that Arcana roll, only a 12.
As he starts to open up the doors, Anissa pulls her weapons.
That's fair. You fling the doors, fling the doors akimbo. They open easily. They do not even squeak as they open, which may or may not be a testimony to how well made they were, or how well maintained they were. And you look into a much larger space. Lyle, as you look within, and your nose starts kind of twitching, the smell is emanating from not this room specifically, but what appears to be maybe one of the side rooms to what would be your left.
I immediately head in that direction.
Okay. Go ahead and move yourself.
You pinged this side room over here?
Correct.
Okay.
I have a quick question for you,
Yes, sir.
Senor Bear.
Yeah.
I believe I had a spell that I had cast on Melisandus called
Yes.
Warding Bond. Has that expired? Duration is typically an hour.
I would say
I think
no, it has not expired.
Okay, so then I'm just going to click that so you have access to it.
Awesome.
Schmoops.
Much appreciates.
I have moved myself to the door.
You have moved yourself to the door. It is like a cross mesh, like almost portcullis style door. You kind of peer through, and stacked very neatly throughout this small space, you see bones. All of them humanoid. But as you're looking in, you see that there's there's easily 20 individual bodies, maybe more.
Well, this is where the smell is coming from. Is there anything in the room that looks like it's moving? Or not a skeleton?
Go ahead and make a perception check. I will remind my house rule, if you do not roll above your passive, we'll default to your passive.
Hale will make a perception check as well, because he kind of came up behind Lyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
21 for Lyle.
Okay. I'm waiting for Hale's.
Definitely not that high for Hale. He only got a 17.
Okay. You're kind of peering through the small squares. You don't see anything moving in there.
Hmm. Interesting.
What are the rest of you doing as this is going on?
There should be 3 cells to a side other than the side we came in on. You've got the 4 pillars, which are load-bearing.
I will also add, Chapel, the portcullis-style door was not original to your design, because it was designed more as like a sort of a breakout, quiet meditation space or what have you, because this actually was like a functioning church at one point.
Although the doors seem to be a new touch.
Do the doors look like do they have hinges? Do they swing? Or is this like a portcullis, something that raises and lowers?
The doors all appear to be like a portcullis, something that raises and lowers.
Okay. I begin looking for something that will raise and or lower doors.
Okay. Melisandus, Anissa, and Chapel. What are you guys doing? By the way, Melisandus, I'm assuming that Tuppy is just on your shoulder.
Yeah, presumably
It's kind of huddled
on the
close to
shoulder,
you,
or
like a cat.
yeah, either on the shoulder or he's like tucked in an inner pocket of the robe.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I did tell Vigil to protect Melisandus.
Melisandus will probably just kind of start walking the perimeter of the room, peeking into each of the rooms to see if there's any other lingering magic auras or people or things in there that are interesting.
Okay.
And I have my crossbow out, and I'll just kind of overwatch.
I will also say that as Hale moved up behind Lyle, he drew his weapons as well.
Okay.
Lyle's weapons are also definitely out.
Sounds good. You guys start searching the room. I would like anybody who's kind of looking around. It is your choice. You will get different information, but you may roll an investigation or a perception as you see fit.
Woo!
Wow.
Perception for Lyle, natural 20 for a total of 25.
Oh, wow. Good lord, you guys.
Yeah, I rolled a nat 20 with a perception +1 for a total of 21.
Cool.
That's
Hale
all right.
got a
Chapel-
20 on the nose. For
Chapel
perception.
more than made up to balance that out with like a total of 9 for investigation.
All right.
And 14 investigation from Melisandus.
I feel like Chapel should have advantage on, like, these investigation checks, because he fucking built this place. Just
They built
saying.
this chapel.
I mean, I can see an argument for that. Yeah. Chapel, go ahead and roll again.
All right.
He has unusual familiarity with this space.
So 16.
Okay. So, starting with the highest number, Lyle, you rolled a perception check. You start going around. You get to. I'm going to move you. I'm on the wrong layer. You get to here when you start to pick up a different scent. As you move away from the room where all the bones were, that kind of old blood and decay smell started to fade, just by proximity. But as you kind of come down and start to kind of move around to the other to the lower part or the furthest south part of the space, you start to smell. You start to smell like sweat and maybe trace amounts of waste, like human waste.
Old sweat or new sweat? Like
Um,
old stale
kind of-
sweat, like locker room smell, or like
Old stale sweat, which is kind of underneath more recent sweat.
how recent?
Did roll on that 20. Last couple of days maybe. And it seems to be
Okay.
coming from this space down here.
Okay. Lyle, well, I'll let you get through the rest of your stuff before Lyle starts talking.
Anissa, because this is all kind of happening at the same time. Anissa, you get to down here.
That's me.
That's Chapel. I apologize. I don't remember exactly where you were.
Yeah,
That's close enough.
This,
I can.
This is me.
All right. Yep. No, I know. I just fucked up. You get to about. Okay. So sorry. You get to here. And you happen to notice on that pillar that's directly in front of you there. There appears to be fuck. Hit the wrong button. There appears to be a panel.
I'm sorry, there was what on the pillar?
There appears to be some kind of panel that you like swing open, like a metallic plate that has a little like handle on it that you can just flip open.
Okay. Malisandus?
Ponder that. Give me a second here.
Yes.
And resolving
Apparently-
everybody's stuff real quick. Give me a second.
Okay. That will be my first action after discovering this.
Yep.
Chit-chat.
Chapel, you kind of are you going to stay there or are you going to look around? I guess is my question.
Yeah, I guess I'll look around.
Okay. You get to literally right there, and you also see on this panel a similar plate to what I described for Anissa. Definitely was not there when this place was built. Which is actually the reason why it stands out for you. Because you're walking by the pillar, and what had been this kind of very sleek, very well-formed stone pillar has been marred by this kind of great, ugly, copper-looking plate.
Okay.
With a door, with a handle on it, so it on hinges. And Melisandus, you are kind of moving south through the hall, and you get to, I'm going to do that, and you note a similar plate right here, right about the same time that Anissa calls your attention. Lyle, what do you do?
Lyle would immediately look back toward Hale. And I feel like they seem to be pretty similar in temperament, particularly with the impatience. And so he's going to make eye contact with Hale, point to that middle room on the south, and finger to lips, trying to indicate someone, pretty sure there's someone in there. And they will wait on Hale to move closer.
Hale, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
I was about to say, Hale's going to make an insight check to see if Hale picks any of that up.
Oh, shit. Hale's insight is really low, isn't it?
No, his insight's fine. His intelligence is not high.
Okay.
We got a 17.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you pick up what Lyle's putting down.
All right. So Hale will move forward quietly. Or, none of us have been stealthy to this moment, so it's not any stealthier than anybody
Casually,
else.
I think is the term you're looking for.
Casually, yeah. Is the term. And get in position to where Lyle indicated.
All right, go ahead and make a deception check.
Lyle, can you ping on the map where you wanted me?
I want you over here. Kind of opposite where Lyle is.
Okay, I will move there in a second. I'm going to roll this deception.
Okay.
19.
Okay. If one were not aware that you were moving deliberately, one would just assume that you were moving, deliberately, but not with a purpose.
And then, is that where you wanted me? That square?
Yes, that is where.
Do not question the GM. I am always right. Anyway,
Uh,
he's flying casual, okay?
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Okay.
All right, you get to there. Lyle, do you move anywhere? Or do you stay?
I moved from the corner
Oh, you
just
did. You did. I see now.
over.
I
I
see
did
now.
move, yeah.
Okay.
I wanted Hale opposite me.
All right. So Anissa, Melisandus, and Chapel.
Yeah.
You're watching this. You see the panels. What do you guys do?
Melisandus,
Yes.
could you check and see if this panel is magical?
Of course.
I don't want to spend all the time to cast a
Well,
spell that I don't think I actually have anyway today. So
Chapel is going to check to see if the plate is trapped.
All right. Melisandus, it does not identify as magical. Chapel, go ahead and roll a investigation, please.
Am I able to kind of take a look at it and see kind of like the use or the function of it? Like if these are pressure plates or if there's something in here that needs to be activated simultaneously to work or anything like that about it?
It is 100% like a copper door, like almost like you'd see on on a circuit breaker, only it flips up instead of open.
I got an 18.
It is not trapped, Chapel.
I will open the plate.
Okay, you open it up and you see a very large, sort of Minecraft-esque almost, but more realistic switch.
Hmm.
Did we lose
Chapel,
Flip the
what
switch.
does yours have?
Hang on, we lost. There's Lyle.
Welcome back, Lyle.
Is your internet having trouble?
Apparently.
I'm sorry.
So the panel is 100% not. It's not magical, but it's 100% what?
The panel is not magical, nor is it trapped. Chapel opened the panel after he checked it for traps and noticed there was a large, more realistic Minecraft-style switch.
Anissa then opens hers.
Okay. You open hers. There is another switch. Actually, give it...
Melisandus will likewise open his.
Do the other two pillars seem to have these plates?
Yes. And actually, I would say there's probably 3 switches on each of the in each of the panels. All right. So jumping back to Hale and Lyle, what are you guys doing?
Being that Lyle's the one that noticed whatever's going on in there, Hale is going to be queuing off of Lyle.
All right.
Do these doors look like the same kind of portcullis doors?
Yes.
Is that actually like a lever on the wall next to Lyle, or is that just a function of the map that this is, and it's
Just a
not
function
actually
of-
there?
Just a function of the map.
Cool. So the door has to be lifted. We can't bust through the door sneakily or abruptly. Well, shit.
Hale, you hear a voice kind of right off of your ear. What are you looking at?
Hale turns to see the person, the owner of the voice.
Hale turns and sees the owner of the voice.
Well, you're new.
Cool.
All right.
Well, I'm looking at that one right there, Hale says, turning on his most charming smile that he possibly can. How are you today, sir?
I'm all right. And you?
You know, I'm not hungry, which is good.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Can imagine. Lyle, what do you do?
Lyle being Lyle, is not licking anything, but rather just kind of looks at the newcomer who apparently snuck up on them, and Lyle's unhappy about this. Yeah, cool story. Who the fuck are you?
Oh, you're very impolite. That's all right. I haven't had any newcomers in a while. I'm Harrow. Pleasure to meet you. And you all?
Yeah, I had a hunch.
My name is Hale. It's a pleasure to meet you too.
Do you offer a hand?
Lyle rolls his eyes.
I'll offer him. What would Hale's? I actually don't think it would be a hand because of the undead thing, and like necrotic. He would probably offer like a fist bump. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, that's probably
No, I get it. Here's the funny thing though. Like, I just imagine that he kind of looks at your offered fist and he kind of cups his hand over it and shakes your fist.
Well, that's you're supposed to, but that's fine.
Are we done with bro time?
I wasn't aware we were having bro time. Hello, welcome. I wish I... What can I do for you?
Yeah, why are there a bunch of bodies stacked in the room over there?
I don't have any other way of disposing of them.
Right.
Why are there bodies?
That's the question, is why are there bodies?
Oh, yes, of course. I've been here a long time, and you are not the first visitors that I've had. And they've been less chatty than you are.
You have a habit of killing your visitors and stacking them in that room.
When they try to kill me first, yes.
What about when they try to kill you second?
He kind of looks at
That's
Hale.
not a threat. That's like a if you got all like roar and then we were like
Well, that hasn't happened. But if I guess, got testy, I suppose they would also be... You're not... That didn't make a lot of sense.
Perfect sense to me.
Operationally, I think it would function the same. All right. You seem a decent fellow. I'd hate to kill you.
You seem a decent fellow. I'd hate to die.
Yes, thank you.
Glad we fit that in. I'm going to level with you. We were sent here by... I forget his name. David forgets his name.
The
Magister.
We were sent here by an individual who calls himself the Magister to, he said, take care of you, and I am hoping, beyond hopes, that does not require violence and that individuals who came previous to us interpreted that the wrong way.
Yeah, so what is it that you're like, what shenanigans are you up to that make you someone that needs taking care of?
While this kind of conversation has been going on, Malisanis has just kind of been studying the guy and looking for anything like emblems on his clothing or accents or mannerisms of speech that might give him more details about who he is, where he comes from, when he comes from.
So first and foremost...
Actually get his name?
Yeah, he said he was Harrow.
He said he was Harrow.
Oh, okay, sorry. I missed that.
No, it's all good. First and foremost, with your detect magic, you detect that he is definitely carrying some magic items.
Okay.
Let me pull up his character sheet here. The great sword he carries is magical. The armor he's wearing is magical.
Mm-hmm.
You're studying him. I will say go ahead and make an insight check, first and foremost.
Are his eyes really white like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Not bad. 18 insight.
Okay, and then I would like you to couple that with an advantaged history roll.
Also an 18.
Nice.
Basically, you got the history roll because you rolled very well on the insight check.
Excellent.
The armor he wears, the mannerisms that he displays, the accent with which he speaks is all very similar. Similar but somewhat distinct from the humans of your time frame. The armor he is wearing appears to be made from a bronze, like some kind of bronze or maybe an alloy of bronze, not steel. The sword that he carries with that kind of white core seems to be held together more from just powerful magic uh, than any particular um, smithing skills. Although, I mean, smithing skills would have had to have been employed, but like the power
Right.
comes from the core, not from the ability. Um, but everything about, despite all of that, like he's very similar to these things from your time frame. But despite all of that, he's still just slightly off.
Hmm.
Not that he's being like untruthful, not that he's being uh not that he's trying to deceive you, but like it's like trying to hear the difference. Excuse me, let me rephrase what I was going to say. It's like being an American and trying to tell the difference between an Irish and a Scottish accent.
Okay. Does it seem like this might be he's trying to put on the airs of a human from that time frame?
Not the impression you're getting. Everything about him seems to be very genuinely him. It's almost as if the people he represents to you specifically uh, aren't quite the same as your understanding of them.
Hmm. Okay. So, like, potentially maybe somebody from a little bit later down the line where bits of grammar and common words or something came into use and
Yeah, absolutely
had.
possible.
Okay.
Anissa and Chapel, what are you guys up to while this is going down?
With
I
his
suppose-
talk, well, sorry.
You go ahead.
With his talk of dealing with other people, I'm going to go back over and take a closer look at the bones, at least as best I can.
Okay.
Do they appear chewed upon?
I would like you to go ahead and make an investigation check, please.
I would be happy to. And then as far as for Vigil, when Vigil heard the voice, Vigil just moved to kind of step in front of Melisandus.
That's fair.
25.
Nice.
Nice.
It's through the bars
I really-
in the dark. It's kind of hard to tell, but one of the yes,
If it helps, I do have dark vision now.
that's fair. With the black and white of dark vision, it is sometimes hard to tell finer details, like if something has been chewed upon. But one of the bones is maybe like was on top of a pile and kind of bounced out at one point, and is laying kind of near the door, and you kind of hunker down and look a little more closely at it. And yes, they do appear to have been gnawed upon.
Okay.
Anissa.
Anissa has just kind of crept a little closer to the situation
Mm-hmm.
and still has her weapon out. Not threatening like or anything, just observing the situation.
Okay. As you move closer, you see him see you, but he doesn't react.
Mhm.
Jumping back to the conversation.
Lyle will they're not intending to be threatening, right? Like,
Mhm.
we're talking, so Lyle is going to move closer to the conversation.
Sure.
And as they do so, would take like a deep breath in through their nose once they get close to him.
Okay.
To try and, especially like once they're past the room,
Sure.
to try and see what they can smell. And like to kind of distract from like the not
Sure.
be weird, super weird about it. Just like, so why are your eyes white?
Go ahead and make your sniff check.
Better than a lick check.
It's true.
22.
As you walk past the room and kind of inhale, you kind of shoot a sidelong glance as well. You recognize this is probably where he has been sleeping, and that scent of sweat and whatnot is very probably just he probably also works out because as you're looking at him, like he's fairly muscular and well built.
Yeah.
So the old sweat and whatnot is probably just the accumulation of working out in the same space for years, for however long he's been here. And as you get closer, you recognize, yes, indeed, like the scent that's coming off of him is very similar to the scent that you're getting from that room.
Do I pick up anything particular about him? Like not wanting to metagame, since Chapel has not mentioned anything about the bones.
Sure.
But like trying to get a feel for what this guy is. Does he have anything particular about him that I can recognize or can discern from just...
You get an air, as you move closer to him, other than the glowing white eyes, he appears generally human. And I'll address that in a moment. But he appears generally human. As you draw closer, go ahead and make a... You can make an Arcana check.
Uh-oh.
I think they froze.
I think they froze as well.
And got booted.
Oh.
Oh no!
When they come back,
Yeah.
with that smell, they probably would have smelled blood on Hale as well, but like fresh blood.
That's fair. I mean, a fella's got to eat.
Indeed.
I mean... Anyway.
Hey, when your only food source is the adventurers that come to kill you.
Yeah, but from Vigil's standpoint, during the whole Second Age and fighting the undead, the undead feast on the living in one way, shape, or form.
It's true. We are going... let me just do a quick check-in here. While we wait, Kit, why don't you plug your stream? Or did we lose Kit too?
Kit!
Where'd everybody go?
We want you back.
Well, so I guess I will start plugging until I hear back from Phoenix. There's a couple of things. Again, I don't know in the timeline where this is going to pop up, but I will plug Kit's stream, Seven Tail Fox, Tale, here on Twitch. They play a lot of very interesting and sometimes older and more unique video games that usually tell some kind of story. They're a lot of fun and they're very interesting to watch. So I highly recommend you go check them out. Other than that, I would go check out our friend Epic_Realms. They do a lot of RP stuff. They do a lot of video gaming. They do a fair amount of
interviews with
interviews. That's the word I'm looking for. And they've
with
had some
authors
really,
and game designers.
Yep, they've had some really interesting authors on thus far, including Ed Greenwood and R.A. Salvatore and Eric Scott DeBee and some pretty high big names in the game industry.
Yes. Yeah. He's had some very impressive interviewees.
Exactly.
It's been great.
Actually,
Very much so.
might have to poke him because with Dragonlance coming out for 5e, I'm gonna see if he can get. I'm gonna see if he wants to try to get Weiss and Hickman on because that would be cool.
That would be very cool.
Hi, Phoenix.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Hi, I'm on my hotspot now.
Oh, you may have to call the company tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm real happy. This is the second time in 3 days that I've had to operate off of my hotspot. Last time was during an interview I had to conduct for work.
Gotcha.
Oh.
So
Where did I lose
again, I'm very sorry. You were telling me about what he smells like.
Right, and I was having you roll an Arcana check.
An Arcana check. Oh, yeah, because Lyle's super good at Arcana checks. It was almost a 19, but it's a 9 instead.
Okay. So as you draw in that breath, you catch that hint of the sweat. You catch that hint of sweat that's on him, identifying him as the person that's been occupying that space. You also get just a hint of something else. Something a little bit other that doesn't normally accompany people, but you can't figure out what that is.
It's not anything like a shifter like Lyle has experienced. Okay.
No. One additional detail, as you inhale and move forward asking about why do his eyes glow like that, you get all of that from him, but you also note there is a very strong scent of fresh blood coming from Hale. That said, he kind of glances over at you. He's like, some years ago, I can't exactly remember how long. I've been here a while. Some years ago, I had a wizard enchant them. I can see more detail with the enhanced eyes. Tends to be very helpful when individuals might be sneaking up on me.
Huh.
Slight pivot, if you wouldn't mind. We've told you why we're here. Could you potentially enlighten us as to why we would be asked to do such a thing? And can I roll a persuasion or something like that to get him to...
Yeah, go ahead and roll a persuasion. I'm going to roll his insight.
We got a 29. I don't know what his... I'm being genuine. Like, I actually would rather avoid physical conflict with this person if at all possible.
That's fair. He kind of just cocks a brow in your direction. I genuinely could not tell you. But I've been trapped here for a very long time, and I would like to go.
I have to ask, go where?
That's a good question. I'm going to go with anywhere but here at this point.
Do you know exactly who or what trapped you here?
Why are you trapped here?
Well, let me ask this question. This Magister fellow that you mentioned. Elf wears a strange sort of red hat, bow tie. Yes, that's who trapped me here. As to why, I couldn't tell you.
Okay, I'm gonna ask like a real, kind of a rude question, so I am sort of sorry, but like, what are you exactly?
Cannibal, apparently, and I throw the bone towards the rest of the group.
Lyle just kind of raises their eyebrows at Harrow.
When the option is eat the flesh available or die, you do what you need to do to survive.
Do you have visitors that often that you've been able to sustain yourself on them?
Somehow I doubt that
I haven't.
very much.
I can go quite some time without eating, but I do need to eat. And he kind of glances at you. Now, if I had wanted to, I could have ambushed you. I'd rather not do that. But I am hungry. Not a threat. Just...
Question. Oh,
That's why I'm asking the rude question, friend. I'm not trying to start shit. Although if you start shit, there's gonna be shit. But like,
No, I understand completely. As with anybody, if I start something, you're going to try to finish it.
yeah. So what
Go
the
ahead.
fuck are you?
Go ahead, Chapel.
I go into my bag of holding,
Yeah.
because as part of my adventuring gear, I do have rations, and I will offer. I'll hand them over.
Ah, goodness. Kind of looks at you. A metal man carrying food. Do you eat?
He's very prepared. They're very prepared.
Where I come from, the time I come from, it is always logical to bring spares along with in case you find those that are in need.
It's appreciated. He takes the ration and he takes the granola bar and starts chewing on it.
speaking of time, Mal, you're an intelligent fellow, far more intelligent than I am. I have to ask, if I remember correctly, the Magister said something about individuals being anachronistic. Was that what it was? Out of their proper time, and that's why they were causing issues? Was that correct?
Melisandre just kind of looks back over at Hale. Blinks once or twice.
I mean, we did. He said that Harrow got into some shenanigans, but I don't remember that word.
It's just that the incidents are helping the creature that remembers time and space to forget it.
I'm
So-
afraid a lot of this is out of my depth. He kind of glances over at Lyle. I'm human, more or less. I have some celestial blood from a long time ago.
Mm.
So what great works did you involve yourself in that started to unravel time and space?
That.
Is that what was happening? Interesting. He kind of sighs a little bit. I was not I was not a good person in my youth. In fact, I went about as, well, to coin a phrase, I was about as evil as you could get. Something happened. Not going to get into it, but something happened, and I spent a good portion of the latter part of my life trying to atone. And then I came here. Well, was trapped here.
So was it the evil doing or the atoning that was unraveling space and time?
I don't know. I mean, what I was doing, I didn't notice any weirdness until after I had turned over a new leaf. And honestly, I didn't even notice it right away, but then there would be small discrepancies. People that I'd known for years didn't remember small details. A friend of mine who was a prolific wielder of the arcane forgot the simplest spell. Little things like that. At least until the end.
When did you notice this start to happen? What had you done at that point in time?
At what point in time was that? Because it sounds like you were hopping all over the place.
He states a year that has zero framework within any kind of time of reckoning that you are familiar with.
Okay, but we have people from like a bunch of different eras.
Said what I said.
So not just me. Okay.
So, like, none of us?
Everybody. Yep. Well, we were... Okay, this requires a little bit of context. When I was evil, I was a general. And I helped invade and take over a not insignificant number of countries. When I was attempting to atone, I was trying to return order. Return the nations that I had wronged to the rightful people.
What
Wow.
methods did you go about doing that returning of order?
A small group of individuals whom I came to trust and love as brothers and sisters. Well, as family. And I worked to subvert, using my intimate knowledge of the governance, to overthrow governments.
Yikes.
May I ask what major deities were running around during this time?
Never really went in for gods. Let's see, there was... oh, lords. Corian Lathander, Palor, Tyr.
Do these sound familiar at all?
Yeah.
I think this is a whole other plane.
Yeah, you're not from here, are you?
I'm not even entirely sure where here is. I came to this... I mean, it was a temple.
At one point.
find an artifact that supposedly was going to help us take down a particularly potent dragon. When I arrived, I found that I couldn't leave.
May I ask what the name of your world, what you call it?
Faerun.
Can you say that again?
Faerun.
Okay. That's what I thought you said. Oh, that's not.
I will say those of you who are inclined to do so. Actually, I will say those of you who are proficient in Arcana can make an Arcana check.
Hey,
Oh, I'm not proficient in that. Damn it.
Woohoo! Melisandus.
28.
Hey, Melisandus, because I apparently don't know anything.
Chapel got a 20.
Nice.
Nice work,
Nice.
Chapel.
Chapel, you've done a little bit of study about the multiverse. Not a lot. Like it's not something that's addressed in a lot of cosmologies and whatnot, and it's not like you've had a lot of time to do it. But you have a basic understanding that there are, outside of the cosmology of, prime material plane, astral plane, shadow plane, and then the outer planes. You understand that there are other cosmologies and universes that have similar things outside of this one. So there are other prime material planes, there are other shadow planes, there or whatever. You recognize that Faerun is one that was specifically referenced in the reading, largely because it kind of in the reading it kind of uses it as an example of what happens when pieces of other worlds sort of conglomerate to become one. And so it was kind of used as a sort of example to that effect. Melisandus, all of that.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm sorry. Before you give Melisandus like uber amounts of information, because he totally would have uber amounts of information.
Yeah.
Can I argue for the fact that even though Anissa is not proficient in Arcana, she would be able to make a planes-based roll because she has been to and acknowledges and knows she's been into multiple planes?
Yes, you may
Existence.
absolutely do that.
I'm sorry.
No. It's a good argument. I hadn't considered that, and you are correct. Go ahead and make the roll.
And the only reason I want to do it is before we do Melisandus is like reveal a lot of information.
Sure.
Because Anissa's is going to be small. I assume it's Arcana-based check still, but it's just
Arcana is the check.
So 15. So
Okay.
obviously not even as much as Chapel, but
you would know that. I mean, you've never heard of Faerun, but you know of Eberron.
And Raven,
and you know of Barovia. And whatever that other world was. Surprise!
Yeah, she's been in 4 different planes.
Right.
At least
so you're able to at least extrapolate that he's talking about a different prime material plane.
Okay. Thanks, Sarah. Just
no, it was a valid point. It's one I hadn't even considered, largely because we haven't played this in 2 months.
Okay, thank you. Now tell Melisandus his amazing amount of information, please.
Melisandus, all of that information that I just gave. You are all the information that I just gave Chapel. On top of that, you are aware that Faerun is sort of, as I had kind of mentioned to Chapel, is definitely this sort of cobbled together realm, because they made it canon when they actually took it. Doesn't matter anyway. It's this sort of cobbled together realm with a bunch of different prime material planes that have been all fused together at some point in their history, this was sort of like a specific example that Chapel was aware of, but you're more aware of it in like the broader sense of the word or of the idea. you recognize that if this gentleman is from, even words are hard, you guys. Uh, if this guy is from Faerun, that means he is from a different plane of existence, which does explain to some degree the differences in his dialect, his clothing. What it does not explain initially, as you're kind of thinking about it, is why it is so fucking similar to things that you are familiar with. And you start to really kind of extrapolate and like do the mental math in your head of uh, there must be some measure of parity, PAIRITY, between worlds. That there some kind of either manifestation, some kind of bleed over from the various different prime-material words that bleed from one to the other, to the other, to the other. Which, as you're kind of sitting there thinking about it and the pieces are sort of falling into place, does explain the notion of having multiple prime material planes, multiple shadow planes, ethereal planes, etc., and so on and so forth. But then, as all of this is kind of going through your head, you start to kind of extrapolate from there that if there is this time dragon that is remembering everything that happens so that things can continue to exist, either there are multiple time dragons for multiple planes of existence, or there's one time dragon that has its kind of consciousness in multiple different planes of existence. And if there's just the one, and one starts to forget, this may cause a cascade effect that will ultimately affect every plane of existence.
I see. So it could theoretically be that this one time dragon has kind of forgotten a little bit about what the humans in Faerun were like and has kind of misremembered them being much more similar to our multiverse bits,
yes,
humans, or vice versa.
Also might be the reason why he was here. The time dragon forgot that he was supposed to be in Faerun, and he had to go somewhere.
Gotcha. Then Melisandre is going to ask Harrow, are you quite certain that the elf with the strange hat trapped you here intentionally?
I never considered that. I suppose I don't know if he trapped me here intentionally or not. When I couldn't leave, he appeared, said some very strange things, apologized a bunch, and then disappeared again.
What sort of strange things did he say?
Something about me not belonging here, something about me being out of sync with time. It's not really my wheelhouse.
Well, you could be the anomaly if you've somehow come over here from your universe, dimension, however you want to put it. Did you step through any magical malfunctioning magical portals in your recent past before coming here?
Malfunctioning? No. Magical portals? Yes. Unfortunately, is a thing that happens quite a bit. I would like everybody to make an insight check before you say what you're going to say. Make an insight check.
Oh.
Hale got a 22.
Thank God somebody rolled well.
Otherwise, it was going to be my 15 trying to save everything.
Yeah, I got a 6.
Yeah.
Apparently Chapel doesn't like to read people.
I mean, my passive insight is a 15, so I guess I would have gotten a 15.
That's fair.
And to be fair, you probably don't trust him yet because you haven't licked him.
It's very true. I don't trust him. I have not licked him. And I'm suddenly feeling the need to lick Hale, but I'm resisting the urge.
For the next minute or so.
We'll see how long it lasts.
You see Hale. I think you're the only one that actually picks up on this. You see as he's trying to rack his brain, trying to remember if he stepped through any malfunctioning portals, he almost subconsciously seems to kind of wince, almost as if he's in pain, but he covers it up very quickly. Somebody was going to say something before I called for the insight check, and I don't remember who it was.
You told us that you'd had a wizard augment your eyes. Was that here that happened? Or was that on adventures before you were trapped here?
That was on adventures before I was trapped here. Okay. I actually lost my eyes at one point. The wizard replaced them.
How'd you lose your eyes?
I made a deal with God. It didn't end well.
You made a deal with a god about your eyes? That seems stupid.
One does not simply atone.
Oh, part of the toning thing. No. See, nope, I got that. That's
a whole nother level.
Yep, that's different.
It was my eyes or my hand, and he holds up his right hand, and I need this.
You're with you, yeah.
Question. You had said, well, Hale is going to call out that he looked like he was in pain. Hale's not one to beat around the bush. When you were racking your brain, it seemed that you recalled something that brought you some pain. I think it's very clear that we would rather help you than harm you at this point. Could you tell us that there might be something there that might help us help you? And if you want me to throw a persuasion behind that, I can.
No, you don't have to throw a persuasion behind it.
Yeah, you good, bro?
No, as I was thinking back on the past, just a little headache, that's all.
Insight check.
Okay.
Does that happen every time you think about the past?
Honestly, I don't think about the past all that much.
Well, think about the past some more.
22.
Like right now.
He is being transparent. He is being truthful.
Oh, fine.
She was ready to kick his ass into truth.
I was.
They were going to get down.
They were going to throw down.
Pardon me, but think about the past right now. Like, think about a nice, soft, fluffy bunny, non-headache inducing, and then think, I don't know, or whatever you'd like to think of that would reduce your headaches. And then think about your past. Think about...
Well, I mean...
Is it just, like, particular bits of your past that make your head hurt?
Like what you would...
Broad strokes, I don't seem to notice anything, but if I think of specific details, like the deal that I made with the god, and you see him again,
your head.
Kind of winces again, and I'm going to make a quick roll.
Oh, time dragon shit. We were just talking about specific stuff being forgotten. It's probably the time dragon.
Oh, that happened. Okay. He winces again, but this time it doesn't fade as quickly. Give me 1 second here. The whiteness of his eyes seems to grow more stark, covering the majority of his face until it seems to almost consume his entire body. And then what stands before you?
I have a bad feeling about this.
I really didn't think that telling him to think would make him...
Should have licked him!
And he...
Did his armor change too?
Fully swings on Hale. He lets out an angry snarl and lets loose with a Prize.
He's totes an Aasimar, isn't he? One of like the avenging scary ones. Scourge Aasimar, isn't it?
Hale, what is your... does a 19 hit your AC?
It does not.
Okay. He swings, he misses, roll initiative.
Yo, dude! I thought we were being all friendly and talking and shit. What the fuck?
I am going last.
Oh, Chapel,
Right,
my
initiative.
friend.
Are you sure?
Wait.
Fight me.
Holy, and we have the same Inishma? Oh my god, we're gonna have to roll off who goes last.
Rollies!
Rollies!
Let
We're
me
just-
roll later than you. Ha! What are we rolling?
Just roll a d20.
Oh, there's so
Just
much
a straight d20.
I rolled d20. I got a 19. What did you get?
I got a 20.
No.
God damn it! On the one that
Oh, I
doesn't
laughed.
matter.
Be worse. I go last.
I find this to be hilarious.
Uh-huh. Yes. And I'm finding it also to be a little ridiculous.
Nothing wrong with that. Has Melisandus rolled? Yeah, I need Mal and Hale.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep track on roll 20.
Oh, we have a roll 20. Okay, yay, good. Oh, that makes me happy.
What's on roll 20?
We're doing
A turnover thingy.
the tracker on roll 20.
Lives over here in the corner.
I am having some keyboard issues at the moment, but Melisandus got a 22 with a +7.
Ooh.
You were just having the worst.
Oh,
computer
Melisandus
today.
goes first.
I'm just gonna sit here
Oh,
and play
that's
with
wrong.
my cross stitch because apparently I don't go for a long ass time.
There we go.
All right, Melisandus, what did you have?
22 with a +7.
Seriously? Good lord.
Okay, is everybody in?
Yep.
Do you have a feat that gives you... You've got to have a feat that gives you additional Inish.
It's not a feat, it's a class feature from being a time wizard.
Oh, that makes sense because you're all like chronomancy and shit.
Yep.
So, Jess,
Mm-hmm.
you do have to, on the turn initiative thing, you got to click on your person and then type in your initiative.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're gonna be 2.02. Because you go before me.
Or just be 2.00.
I suppose I could just be 2. Okay, fine. I'll just be 2. Where am I? I don't remember how to do this.
Click on the
So click
0
on the
by
number.
your image and type in your thing and hit enter.
Oh, that's 0. Oh, I don't even have... That's like... Okay, I was like looking for things over on my character. I was trying to make it way more complicated than it is.
Alrighty. But he's in.
Okay, what the fuck am I? How do I work this character?
Right?
All right,
Mm,
Melisandus.
Oh, right.
You are first.
Melisandus is going to cast Haste on Hale, since Hale was the one that got lunged at.
Okay.
yay!
And then is going to move a little bit
Thank you.
further back away from Harrow and make himself less of a choice target, but still within about 50 feet of Harrow.
All right. Does that end your turn?
Let's see, I do still have a bonus. No, there's not really much I can do as a bonus, so that will be Melisandus' turn.
All right.
It's Lyle.
We have Lyle next.
Yeah. Lyle is going to move up. And as a bonus action, is this Brazier actually here?
Yes.
Okay. Well, damn. Boop, 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 boop.
If only Melisandus had animated object, then you'd have a flanking. I realize that's not how that works, but the rule of cool.
Okay, that's fine. It's not going to help me, but it might help Hale. So as a bonus action, in this space right here, my DM friend, I'm just going to use the this for that.
Sure.
A translucent gray image that looks kind of like Lyle pops into existence.
Okay.
And that will at least provide flanking to Hale. And then we are going to attack. So yeah. Oh, you know what you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna the translucent image is going to attack our friend Harrow there.
Okay.
Because I can get advantage from Hale. So, first strike is an 18.
That is going to miss.
Okay. Second strike is going to be... Nope, 14 will miss too. Okay. And that is... unfortunately, all that I can do at the moment.
What is your weapon of choice?
I have a scimitar.
Okay.
Actually, I double wield, so I have 2 scimitars.
Okay, so you're swinging this. Well, your duplicate is swinging the scimitars, and you see him just sort of with preternatural speed, just kind of dodge out of the way of both of the attacks. You hear him laughing, and it's not. It's his voice, but it's just dripping with malice. And you remember him talking about when he was evil, and you get the impression that when he was doing that, this is kind of what he sounded like.
Okay. The last thing that Lyle will do, and it's just more flavor than anything, it is flavor, is just kind of like try to get Harrow's attention. And hey, we don't want this. We don't want to fight you. Stand down. What the fuck? And that'll be it.
Okay. Hale, it is your turn.
All right, so I have advantage because I'm flanking, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Hale's gonna unleash 4 times because of taking his attack action, and his bonus action gives him 3 attacks because he's dual weapon fighting.
Okay.
Plus the haste 4 attacks.
Got it.
So, first one, 21.
That'll hit.
All right. Second one, 19.
That will not hit.
Okay. Third one, 23.
That'll hit.
Fourth one, crits, 25.
25 will hit. It is not a crit.
It is not a crit. Okay.
No.
Awesome. So, I kind of want to do a smite thing. Because why not? I have to find where that is, though. On my list.
You should have a tab for spells, and that would be under your spell list.
Smite would be?
Yep.
Well, so there's your paladin smite, which really only affects like outsiders and fae and dragons and whatnot. But then you have like smite spells.
Oh.
The divine spite. When you hit with a melee weapon attack, you expend 1 spell slot to deal 2d8 extra radiant damage to a target plus 1d8 for each spell higher than first.
Yep.
Plus
Okay.
1d8.
I finally saw
dead
it.
arm.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be undead or focus. You just get bonus if it's undead or fiend.
Yep. So I'm going to expend a second level spell slot.
Okay.
To dump in a smite for one of those attacks. Let's do it on the crit. So I can triple that damage essentially. So
Again,
the first...
David,
what?
He is
doesn't.
immune to
Oh,
critical
not
hits.
crit. Double that damage then. Sorry. So it doesn't really matter which one I do it on. But either way. All right, so I'm going to be rolling the d8 1, 2, 4 times.
Okay. I do need to know the difference between your physical damage and your radiant damage.
Okay. So we got 20 physical damage.
Okay.
Well, actually, sorry. No, that's not excluding my plus. Hold on. I'm sorry.
No,
It's been a while since I played this. 26 physical damage.
Okay.
And 7 radiant.
And what are you wielding?
Long sword and short sword.
Okay. So you, blades in hand, start swinging on him. You manage to score a couple of hits. One of them seems to be kind of dead to rights, but then as you kind of hit in the area right in the neck that would have been a crit, you realize that armor that he's wearing it's just infinitely more intense than you thought it was, and it kind of deflects the blade from biting deeply enough to do a lot of damage. You note as he takes the damage, the radiant in particular seems to be less effective than you definitely would have hoped it would be, and you see him kind of look at you and grin, those white eyes just blazing almost with crackling energy outside of his own skull, and he just kind of grins at you, and you see these sharp pointed blood-stained teeth as he glares at you and goes, I was made from that. My turn. Does that end your turn?
Well, he's not going to do radiant damage on him. It doesn't do much to him.
Noted.
Does that end your turn, David?
Yeah, I'm not going to move.
All right. So he takes a swing on you.
Legendary action?
No, it's his turn.
Oh, okay.
Uh, 25?
That will hit.
Okay. Take 16 points of magical slashy slash. And then... Boop. He disappears and reappears behind Melisandus. Growls, I never liked wizards. And takes a swing at you.
Just to let you know, Vigil's going to use its reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
Okay. Perfect. We'll do this. All right. Disadvantage attack roll on Melisandus is still a 16. Does that hit you?
Not when I use my reaction to cast shield.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. So he disappears from where he was and then re-manifests directly behind you, growls about not liking wizards. Sword comes up, starts to come down. You see Vigil snarling, kind of snapping at him between your legs, and he kind of moves a little bit. The blade starts to come down. It's going to still hit you dead to rights. You throw up an arcane ward, and it deflects off the arcane ward at the last second. He growls in frustration.
Tough nuggies.
That is all of his turn. Chapel.
Chapel does some cunning mathematics and shoots at him.
Cat, no.
First shot being a 14, unfortunately.
Got a bit of cover.
Second shot, nat 1, sadly.
Oh, Lord.
Now, Chapel did tell Vigil to protect Melisandus, so since Melisandus is attacked,
Yep, I think that is fair.
Vigil's gonna move up and make an attack on does a 23 hit?
Yeah, absolutely does.
So they will take 4 force damage.
Ow. Force damage? Jesus.
Yeah, the steel defenders.
bet that
apparently do
goes
force
through.
damage.
Yeah, all of
Good.
that goes through. Yeah, so Vigil bounds up to him and snaps down on his legs, on his leg, and you see straight through the intense armor, and you see a little bit of black blood starting to seep out.
Well, that can't be good.
And I'm pretty sure it's just the one attack.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with the Steel Defenders, I think it is too.
So that would be it for my turn then, all of it.
Anissa.
All right. He moved.
He did.
It's
Kind of a
let me
dick like
just
that
check the
sometimes.
legend there. Oh, good. First, I'm going to cast Bane
Okay.
on him.
There's
He makes a
save associated
charisma.
with that.
Charisma.
Charisma saving throw? Shit.
Yeah.
14.
He makes it.
He makes it? Okay.
Yeah, my saves is really low, but I suppose we're just at the beginning.
We're
of the
only
game.
6. Yeah, we're only 6 level.
That was just unhelpful and not nearly as useful as I was. Fine. I'm going to. I'm gonna run up to him. And can I cast as my bonus action? That's still a thing, right? Oh, but I can't hit him because I casted a spell, which is a standard action.
Correct.
Was there another one? Hold on. Double checking. I feel like there was another bonus action. This
Well,
one.
It would have
I
to
can
be.
choose it. No, it's a not a spell. It's a thing.
Gotcha.
Now that he's this close to me, I choose him. And I gain advantage on attack rolls for a minute. Or until he drops.
What did you
I
activate?
channel divinity, my vow of enmity.
Enmity. Okay, cool.
Nice.
So I'm now on advantages to attack rolls against him. So fine, I can't smite you, but
I can hit you in the face.
and she kind of does a. We tried so hard to not come to this. I'm sorry that your memories bring this forth.
Which brings us back to the top of the round with Melisandus.
And I'm actually just now remembering, is the Chapel's warding bond still active on Melisandus at this point?
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Okay, then I actually didn't need to use shield because his AC would have been 17.
Okay.
So I'm going to take that spell slot back because I didn't need to use it.
Right. That's right. It does bump your AC a little bit too.
Just by 1. But
Just
he rolled
enough.
exactly my AC.
But that's an
So-
important one.
That's yes.
Yes.
Quite
A
so.
very important one. So Melisandus is going to use a bonus action to cast Misty Step.
Probably a
and is
wise
going to
choice.
put himself. Let's see here. That's 30 feet. All right, he's just going to pop himself 30 feet that way as a bonus action. As a. Oh, wait, what was the range of that? 60-foot range. Okay. I think that's plenty. Oh, yeah. As a move action, is going to move himself even kind of further away.
Okay.
Then he is going to use the Hat of Wizardry.
Okay.
It lets me use a cantrip that I don't know that's on the wizard's spell list. As long as I make a DC 10 Arcana check. Now, my bonus to Arcana is a +10. Is that just
Sure.
automatically works?
Yeah, works for me.
That's
Okay.
ridiculous.
And I'm going to use it to try to cast Ray of Frost, which is a spell attack.
Sure is.
So,
Yeah.
boom, 27 to hit.
You are gonna hit.
Easy, nice.
Beautiful. So, Ray of Frost will. Let's see. We are above 5th level, so it will do 2d8 points of damage. Oh, that was a bad roll. 3 points of frost damage. But, and critically, his speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Oh, good lord.
Which means he can't get to me.
For so many reasons.
And as he kind of teleports and throws out the spell, he'll kind of, as a response to his dislike of wizards, well, then you shall be very displeased to know that there are very few wizards as good as me. And that will be Melisandus' turn.
Fair.
I love to hate Melisandus.
He's such a prick.
He's such a prick, but also he is really fucking good. God damn it.
It's a well-deserved. Like he deserves to be a prick. He's earned it.
He's a prick, but he's our prick.
Yeah.
And he's good at what he does. We do want him on our team. We just
Anyway,
Just
speaking of
also hate
pricks, it's Lyle's turn.
That's fair.
Oh.
No, that's accurate. Did the cold damage appear to go through completely?
Yes, it did.
Okay, excellent. Not that does anything for Lyle, but Lyle is going to use their bonus action, for their echo to Bamf yonder. And then we'll move to there because I have 40 feet of movement. So even with the 15-foot penalty, I can still make it. And then we're going to go slashy, theoretically. With advantage.
I approve your theory.
I like this theory. It's a good theory.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's so bad. That definitely does not hit.
No.
Oh,
That also definitely does not hit.
What is going
Okay.
on? Oh
if
my
you
god!
added the two together,
It would be awesome.
Yeah,
I
it would-
apologize for all of the rolls that are about to appear in roll 20 because I'm trying to fucking reset this bullshit because this is some serious. Look at all the ones in that. Look at all the ones.
That's intense. Damn. All right.
But
Lyle,
that
does-
is Lyle is going to just like roar in frustration because this is some serious bullshit. But that is the end of their turn, unfortunately.
All right, Hale, it is your turn.
Hale's going to mutter to himself, well, there's multiple ways to kill evil things. And then, as a bonus action, cast Thundering Smite.
Okay.
And then we'll move... Is he able to get to here with, like, kind of kitty corner?
You can move through allies' spaces.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
move there. That's 25 feet.
And then we'll attack 3 times with the haste. Does a 21 hit? I think it did, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So that one's going to have an extra 2d. Now, here's the way it reads, Thundering Smite. It seems a little strange, but it says... The first time you hit with a melee weapon attack during the spell's duration, your weapon rings with thunder that is audible within 300 feet of you, and the attack deals an extra 2d6 thunder damage to the target. Additionally, if the target is a creature, it must succeed in a strength saving throw or be pushed 10 feet away from you, knocked prone. Now, the operational thing is the first time you hit with a melee weapon, it sounds like that's only good once, but it is a concentration spell.
Right, because you can use it until you hit.
multiple rounds.
Oh, I
So,
see.
like,
Got it.
if you miss all 3 attacks, or you were Lyle and couldn't hit the broadside of a barn right now, like,
Got it,
you
got it,
can
got it.
keep concentrating until you do.
Understood. Okay, great. So that's going to go off. Second attack, also a 21.
Also
Third
will hit.
attack is also a 21. Jesus Christ.
Also will hit.
I rolled 3 16s in a row.
His strength saving throw was a 23.
Yeah, he's not going to get knocked back.
Okay.
But damage, we have...
You can just give me all the damage together.
3, 29, 34 points of damage. And that will conclude Hale's turn.
So yeah, Hale and stabs with the sword. Loud thunder clap as the first one hits. You see him wince a little bit as the pain hits him. He just kind of turns and gives you just the smuggest fucking smirk. And you see he's got the great sword in his hand, but as he's standing there, he splits it in half and it becomes 2 short swords.
Why?
He is going to take a swing at Anissa, Lyle, and Hale.
Rude.
Uh, 11's going to miss Anissa.
Yes, correct.
Nat 1 is going to miss Hale. Wow, all right. I'm sorry, Nat 1 is going to miss Lyle, and I don't think a 19 hits.
That is correct. It does not.
And then he disappears and reappears in this corner here.
Stop the teleporty shit.
Can somebody keep him from flitting about?
Chapel, it is your turn.
Apple is going to move over to here so he can see him a little bit better because the pillar was kind of in the way otherwise.
Yep.
And then Chapel. 15 to hit, which I doubt hits.
Nope.
Ooh, but a 25 probably will.
25 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And this is magic piercing damage. Wow. I keep rolling like the lowest on my damage dice. But 5 magical piercing.
Okay.
And then, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
And then Vigil is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And Vigil is going to attack. But I doubt a 13 hits.
Nope, 13 does not hit.
And that will be it for Vigil, and I believe that is it for Vigil and Chapel.
All right. Anissa.
Okay. So Anissa is... Who is that?
That
Vigil.
is Vigil.
Could Vigil have possibly run over there?
Nope,
Okay.
that was his speed.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Is this something that's in my way? This thing... Whoops, I have the wrong tool on.
This is an occupied space.
So to run around the damn thing?
Yep. Precisely
Hold
the reason
on.
why he moved there, too. He can't be flanked there.
Auntie.
Not that the flanking is doing any fucking good.
Okay.
I mean, for
5,
you,
10.
it was working for Hale.
I can go one diagonal. 15, 20. Oh, wait. Don't I have a 40? No, I have a 30. God damn it. Who has 40? One of my characters has 40.
You can get to here in 30.
I can get to there in 30?
Yeah.
Even with the stupid occupied space and the stupid Langley.
Well, because the diagonals don't do what they did in Pathfinder.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm serious.
Yay! Just... Okay. Yay! I won't pout about it. Just being ridiculous and rules that confuse me. Like, it's a good rule. I'm happy about it. I'm just... Things. Okay, so bonus action, casting Searing Smite.
Okay.
Why did you roll? Don't roll. I haven't hit him yet. Stop that.
Casting a spell. I'm not rolling a die.
Apparently, I already did the damage part, assuming I hit him. But okay, no. And now I'm going to whack him with
Okay.
my. What am I fucking him with? What did I hit? Oh, probably my sword.
Whackinations.
My sword. What's the difference here? What is happening? Why does my longsword have two different a D8?
It's a versatile weapon, which means when you're wielding it one-handed, it does a die 8, and if you're wielding it two-handed, it does a die 10.
Oh,
That's
I'm probably wielding it one-handed because I had to cast a spell. What is the spell's components? Oh, it's just verbal? Dude, I'm doing two hands.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to try to whack him. Oh, with
Do it.
advantage. Okay, rolled again. That's better. 19? Does 19 hit him?
Not do it.
That was embarrassing. Oh, but that was a bonus action, so I can hit him again. Because I
The-
get 2 attacks per action.
Correct. You can attack him a second time.
Okay, I'm still figuring this shit out. Okay, I longsword whack. 18 and 1. We're gonna go with the 18. 18 plus 5 is 23. We hit him now?
23 is going to hit.
Oh, good, because otherwise, seriously. All right, so I'm going to whack him with my sword,
Okay.
which does 6 plus 2, 8 damage.
Alrighty.
And then I do spell. I think it was 2d6. I don't know. Why did it roll 2d6 when I did that?
According to this, you rolled a die 10 plus 2.
No. Going up a bit.
Oh,
The spell clone was Searing Smite. It did a 4 and 2. I have no idea what that was about. Just roll a d6. There, 6. That was a fire damage.
cool. Yeah, he scorches him.
Okay, he's set on fire.
He is on fire.
He's on fire now. At the start of each of his turn, he must make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
If he fails, he has more fire.
He's more.
If he succeeds, yeah, he gets more damage.
Got it.
And if he succeeds, then well, it's done.
Okay. Melisandus.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, he got a ways away, didn't he? How far away did he? Oh, but he's still within 60. Probably need to move to get better line of sight on him. But
Yeah, there's a pillar and a brazier in your way.
you know what? We'll just move all the way up here. That's fine. And then ooh, you know, that one sounds kind of fun. I think I'm going to try casting Mind Sliver on him.
Oh, Mind Sliver.
So he gets to make an intelligence saving throw.
Nice.
That seems like something that's less up his alley.
Dirty 20.
Oh, well, he makes the save then. That was a move and a standard for a cantrip. And I don't really have much I can do as a bonus action, so unfortunately... Oh, wait, you know what? Hold on.
Holding on.
I am going to, as a reaction, use my class feature of Chronal Shift.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's within 30 feet of me. Shoot. I am more than 30 feet away from him.
Yeah.
That one wouldn't work. What about... No, but I can do this. Okay. So since that was a cantrip, as my reaction for this round, still a reaction, I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs.
Reaction
And
actually cannot happen on your turn.
oh, really?
Yes. Now, you literally the next person to go, you can be like, I reaction cast Silvery Barbs. Like, you can fully do that.
Right. I thought it still could happen on your turn. It just didn't refresh until you got to the start of your turn.
It's literally it's a moot point. I could say, well, because let's see here. Who's after you? I could say Lyle goes, and you go, I cast Silvery Barbs.
Well, the Silvery Barbs is a reaction to him making the save. So by the time my turn is done, he's made the save. That's all done.
Gotcha.
Ooh. Is there anything else I can do about that then? Nope. I don't think I can do anything about that this turn. Unfortunately. So he just gets to get away unscathed this time.
Continue being a dick. Got it. Lyle, it's your turn.
Lyle's real annoyed right now. But can't actually do anything because there's no space to attack him in melee. So I guess we'll pull out the crossbow.
Okay.
And try to shoot him a couple times.
All right. He's got some cover. but you can take a shot.
Because of the brazier?
Because of the brazier and just people in the way.
Nope. Does a 20 hit him?
Oh, you're going to be real salty with me. A 20 would normally hit him, but he has some cover, so it will not.
Okay, so his AC is 20 when he doesn't have cover.
Correct.
Cool. Absolutely is salty. I have jack shit to do, so cool.
Hail.
Okay, Hale is going to what is the thing that's just south of Harrow? Is
That's Vigil.
that's Vigil?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Vigil goes on Chapel's turn.
Correct.
Technically, right after Chapel.
Can I delay my whole turn
Yeah.
until after Vigil clears the way?
I mean, you're assuming he's going to, but sure.
Can I call that out and then delay the rest of it?
Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Clear the way, and then I will hold my turn until the way is cleared.
All right. Harrow is going to fully unload on Anissa.
Very rude. Just saying.
He's been rolling as bad as some of the people here, so
I love that. Continue that action.
Yeah, his rolling's been on par with Lyle.
yeah. That one was a 27, a
Well, that hurts me.
22, but the 9 will miss.
Why
Yes,
can't I
mine
fucking
was
roll
the-
like that?
The other two will that they cause me pain.
All right.
All right, how much pain am I dealing with? Yeah.
Let me give you a roll. I'm gonna roll this above board because I can. So the first attack that hits does 17 points of damage.
Ow.
And the second attack that hits does 9 points of damage. And because he's an asshole, until the end of his next turn, you cannot heal. You cannot heal those 9 points.
Noted. The 17 are up for grabs, but the 9 just must be painful.
It's a function of his weapon, but yes. Chapel.
Chapel is going to continue shooting at the guy.
Oh, wait. I'm so sorry. It was his turn. He needed to make a Constitution save to start his turn.
You're correct. Sorry. Me.
That's all right. I'll keep
rolling,
rolling
you're
my attacks.
17, Jess.
Ugh. He's fine. The spell's done.
So both of my attacks are crap. On my bonus action, I will call Vigil to return to Malsandus.
Okay.
That will more or less be it for Chapel.
All right.
And then Vigil will provoke an attack of opportunity. Well, let's see. What's the distance here?
I mean, he can take his action to disengage and then move.
Yeah. But he's also got like an intelligence of like 4. So is gonna move and dash, so we'll provoke.
Okay. He swings. 16 to hit Vigil.
That will hit.
Vigil will take 14 points of damage. Hale, it is your turn.
All right, Hale is now going to charge up. Whoop! I have to select the other cursor. Pardon me, and then unload. Is it worth it doing that? He might do another. He might, as a bonus action, do another. It is worth doing that. As a bonus action, he's going to do another thundering strike or thundering smite.
Okay.
Cast it. On his way up.
Sounds
So
good.
I will mark that down. Right. First attack is a 20 on the dot.
20 will hit.
Second attack is gonna miss.
Okay.
Third attack is a 22.
That'll also hit.
2 hits, 1 with thundering strike.
Correct.
Make another strength so he doesn't get bashed up against the wall.
19.
That also succeeds, so no worries there. 10, 16 plus 20. 26 points of damage total.
All right.
And then
Hold on.
Hale was here.
Hold on. So you swing at him twice. The first one echoes with a loud report, and the second one you drive into his neck, and he drops.
Ah. Like dead?
He's unconscious.
Hale sighs and says, "All right, let's bind him." Anyone have rope?
Yes. I do, in fact, have rope.
Does he revert to other look once unconscious, or is this still his look?
Yeah, does he stop looking scary?
Well,
Murray?
we are still technically in combat, in rounds, for a very specific reason. So
Well,
Hale.
In that case, Hale's going to use the rest of his movement to take 10 steps back because he only used 25 of his 35 feet of movement.
Anissa.
Yeah. Oh, it's my turn. That's what you mean by Nisa. Does Nisa have rope? Well, first thing she does is kick away his weapons, because he had weapons he was hitting us with, right?
Yep,
It wasn't
he
just...
had 2 short swords.
Okay, kicks those thoroughly away. Because I assume that's a thing I can do.
Okay. As you kind of look down at him as he's laying there, he doesn't revert back to his previous guise, but you see the glowing eyes are dark, and there's no eyeballs. It's just an empty socket.
Rope, I have rope. Okay, so kick weapons away and pull out rope.
Okay, that's probably.
I think that's all I can kind of do.
That'll be it for you. Melisandus.
I mean, he's down. There's not a lot that Melisandus would be able to do in terms of restraining him or whatnot, so I think he's just going to delay.
All right. Anissa, you took damage in that fight, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can deal with it, but
You hear
I don't
from
think it's-
Melisandre's shoulder, Tuppy calls out, "Hey Anissa, you got a little blood," and you heal for 10.
Yes, and oh, thanks.
Wow, a literal pocket healer.
Yep. Lyle. I was worried you'd frozen again.
That's why I made a noise.
Thank you.
Lyle will move. Because my movement is 40 feet, I can get there.
Okay.
Lyle's gonna attack him twice.
Okay.
Do I have advantage because he's prone?
You do have advantage because you're rolling melee and he's prone. Stop.
A 24 will hit.
Yep.
Is that an auto crit?
No, it's an auto crit, so that's 2. Then a second attack.
Mm-hmm. Then a second attack. That'll hit as well.
Okay. You see, as you slash because scimitars are not stabbing weapons. You see as you slash your final blow, it goes right across his throat, opens up, that kind of black blood pours out, and he breathes his last. And we are out of combat.
Well, that was a choice.
Problem dealt with.
There could have been another way.
We tried your way. It didn't work.
It was not of his own volition.
That didn't make him any less of a threat.
Hence the rope.
Because it's so likely that he would have not been able to get out of that or teleport away.
He would have been nearly incapacitated to the point where if he did try to get away, we would have been able to do just that.
Choice made, I'm not going to argue this with you.
It was the wrong choice, and you will see that at some day.
Perhaps.
Hale
You
walks
may
away.
think so. Lyle regrets nothing and is gonna loot his body, because that's what we do.
Okay. There's really not much on him. He's wearing the armor, which after he's dead does revert back to that golden color. He's got his armor and he's got the 2 short swords, which apparently can turn into a great sword.
Yeah, I'll take whatever I'm allowed to take, particularly that great sword. I'm very interested in it.
Currently, it's 2 short swords.
I will take the 2 short swords.
Okay. So you have 2 short
Anybody,
swords. and
anybody want this armor?
What does the armor do? Like, we'd have to cast like an identify spell on it or something like that,
the
right?
armor itself is actually not. It's very faintly magical, but like in the sense
Is it
that
adamantine?
It's adamantine half plate.
Yeah.
So like it's magical in the sense magic was used to create it, but in and of itself it is not a magical item.
Given enough time, I might be able to enchant it further.
I mean, I could use it. But if others have better use of it, he kind of looks at Anissa,
So it's
who, based
adamantine.
Yeah,
off
I'm
of
like-
the character model, does not have like plate mail or anything like that.
No, I have chainmail, but which I realized I didn't really draw well on her model, but
Is it plate or half plate, babe?
It is half plate.
What is that? What is that? What does that
What's the
consider? Can Anissa wear it?
Yeah.
yeah, I should be able to. Is that better than chainmail?
Yeah.
I think it's better than chainmail.
It's medium armor. AC would be a 15 plus whatever bonuses you get.
Plus your dex.
Yeah, so 15 plus your dex. If that gives you better than what you have.
15 plus dex is the same I have as mine.
The trick is with this, you'd be immune to critical hits.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Never mind, I want that.
That's what adamantine does in 5e.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Pretty sweet.
We'll go over to equipment. How do I add this one?
At this point, it's going to be moot because we're nearing the end of the session, so we can add it in the off time.
Okay.
As you're standing there and this kind of tense discussion happens and you guys are debating who's going to use the armor, you see the body kind of, like, it doesn't fade away, it just sort of rots very quickly. Like, it goes through the stages of decomposition almost in, like, fast forward. And by the time, Anissa decides that she's taking the armor, there's just a pile of dust.
Ooh.
Like, the armor is also dust, or the body is just dust in the armor? Okay.
Just the corpse.
That was gross.
Yep. But honestly, better than squishy wet parts to remove armor from. Honestly. Anyway, Melisandus, I know it may be beneath you, but do you happen to have prestidigitation?
I do.
Would you mind cleaning this before I...
I suppose. Cast prestidigitation.
Thank you. I appreciate that much.
As you're cleaning up the armor, a very familiar, somewhat fastidious voice. Ah, excellent! You did an amazing job. Well done. Well done. The way has been made open to you. Once you leave through the door, you can travel to your next. You'll travel to your next destination.
Is there anything else here that could be used before we leave? Any other items that we can find or information that could be found by searching this place?
Go ahead and make an investigation check. Anybody that wishes to can certainly do so.
I would happily aid someone who has, a bonus to investigation at all.
I would take that advantage roll.
I will aid Melisandus.
I would aid somebody else who has any bonus in investigation. I will aid Chapel.
With advantage, that's a 19.
Excellent.
Yes. Nice.
Let's see what Chapel rolls.
20.
Nice. All right, so the two of you kind of divide and conquer and quickly go through. You go through the space. With a 20, I would say that between the 19 and the 20, because that's pretty good rolls for both of you. Would you explore it thoroughly? Like, would the choice be made for you to go into the room with all the bodies and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Melisandus, at the very least, would be trying to gather as much information about this whole situation as he could.
Fair enough.
And Chapel's fairly clinical.
So you go and you search the space top to bottom. You find in the room with all the bodies, there are kind of tucked in a corner, actually fairly neatly folded, is what appears to be all of the clothing, and like the packs and such of all the individuals who were here. The weapons and armor and such you actually find in one of the other cells. Basically, everything there is mundane. If there's anything in particular, here's how I'm going to handle that, because there was a lot of bodies in there. Everything in there is mundane. If there's any like mundane armor or weapon that you're itching to have, you can find here.
Like adamantine full plate?
No, everything is mundane. I recognize that
It's not
technically
magical.
I know that adamantine is not technically magical, but it's going to be like basic stuff out of like the PHB or something like that.
Killing me, Smalls.
I'm going to be much better about dropping gear than I was for the previous campaign because that got ridiculous. So
Wait,
you
when
find
you
all
say
of
much
that.
better about dropping gear, do you
Meaning
mean?
he's not gonna drop good gear.
God damn it!
Going
Yeah.
to drop good gear just in its time.
So he's not gonna
What?
drop good gear for the foreseeable future.
That's not being better about gear. That is
I
being
just
Yeah.
dropped
What's your
adamantine
oper-
half
what's your
plate.
operational
Don't make me
definition
change
of
my
good
mind.
gear?
Thank you very much for the I like not having critical hits, but
I will also point out that sword weapon is something pretty fucking cool too, but we'll get to that later.
Sure. I do have one question on that, though.
Yes.
If there is going to be a scaling back in the weapons and gear and things that drop, are we going to be having any opportunities to, like, visit a store and buy some?
Purchase some shit.
Yes.
Because, like,
Yeah.
this feels like the kind of campaign where maybe we wouldn't.
I get that. Here's what I will say in terms of how I'm going to run this. I am certainly going to run this with the idea that I'm going to be putting a sense of urgency into the game.
Mm-hmm.
But that does not in any way, shape, or form preclude you from going shopping anyway. I'm not going to say you're like, I mean, it really depends on where you wind up, but like in the Age of Enlightenment, for example, there's going to be shops. There's going to be stores.
Yeah, but we also aren't getting like money dropped either. So unless you're about to drop some money on us.
We
I
might
like
in the
money.
future. We've so far fought a lot of like creatures in libraries and a guy who'd been just in a room for however long. Not really money heavy situations.
Exactly.
I hear what you're saying. I'm telling you not to worry about it.
It's fair.
should not be shaking in our stylish yet affordable boots.
Correct.
Mm.
In one of the other rooms where like there's the weapons and armor, one of the other cells, you actually do find a small treasure. Like there's a chest with some gold in it. It looks like the chest was probably in this room, like originally in this room. And actually, Chapel, you remember when they were when they were filling the place with decorations after you built it. You remember this chest, like you remember them bringing it in. This is kind of wooden, fairly simply built, but nice looking, just almost like a steamer chest.
Is it still solid if it's been hundreds of years later?
Yeah, honestly, it is still solid.
Okay.
Again, everything in here is fairly well maintained and clean because, you know, when you have nothing to do in a space, what else do you do? And within there is a total of 500 gold pieces. And because I'm nice, we'll say there's 100 gold pieces worth of diamonds in there.
Ooh.
In his living space, you see one wall is covered with what appears to be tally marks. And you very quickly figure out that this is probably how he was marking time. Now, you recognize that he probably wasn't able to do it very precisely.
Mm-hmm.
So what he was marking was likely amount of times that he took a long sleep. Melisandus, you're a pretty bright guy. You're able to kind of quickly tally everything. It equates to, as you're going through and you tally, it equates to roughly 400 years.
Ouch.
assuming each one represents a day. Again, like it's not precise.
Right.
You do find a couple of books that looks like they used to be holy text that have been, like, as you open them up, it looks like whatever ink was there was somehow treated away. So like the ink that was there, like you can still see the writing very faintly, but it looks like he was trying to keep a journal for a while. And so you see, like, there's two of these books that he's somehow maybe alchemically in some other way treated away the existing ink, and has written in this thing. And actually, as you see, Lyle, as you're standing there kind of near Melisandus, as he's paging through this thing, you smell blood. Old blood, dried blood. But you realize that he must have written this in his own blood.
Gross.
Gotcha. Well, Melisandus will definitely pocket the books to read through later.
Do me a favor, Schmoopsy, and make sure to put on your sheet that you have 2 journals written by Harrow. And that way, when we inevitably forget what the fuck that's about, you can remind me what they are and what they're about.
Sure.
But other than that, one room looks like he was dealing with waste. Now, here's the thing. After 400 years, there probably should have been a lot more. But it looks like he was only voiding after he ate.
Ew.
I mean, it makes sense.
Seems that whatever kept him alive for 400 years, also eating wasn't necessarily a requirement to survival. Comfort, maybe, but not survival.
Which makes the cannibalism that much more disturbing.
Hmm?
Well, think of it this way. You're immortal, right? You don't have to eat to survive, but you still experience hunger. After a while of not eating, while you're not starving to death, you're still really fucking hungry.
Fair, but yes.
I mean, to be fair, you're trying to explain that to a Warforged that doesn't eat, so it's still kind of...
I'm also not a character in the game. I'm just rationalizing why this happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that's more or less it for this space.
All right.
Shall we continue on then?
Back to the Magister's hold, or are we going elsewhere?
I don't know. All he said was that the way was open. That's a very good question.
I am going to cast Mending on Vigil.
Okay.
I believe he heals.
I mean, honestly, if you guys wanted to take a short rest, you could.
I was going to say, depending on... I know Anissa got hit. I think Hale got hit too.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
depending on, like, how injured you guys are, if we're going straight on to the next thing, like, we might want to take a short rest.
Yeah, short rest would be lovely.
You guys
The
can go ahead
mending
and take a
gets
short rest.
Vigil
can-
back up.
Sounds good. You guys can use hit die to heal.
Lyle would like to use the short rest to kind of take Hale aside in perhaps like the first, like, I don't know what word I'm trying to say. He's not talking in front of the rest of the group, so like we're showing a little bit of tact here, but he'd like to pull Hale aside.
Okay.
If Hale will go with them.
Sure, yeah, we'll go.
I don't want to make problems for you. You smell different. And you smell like blood. You want to explain to me what exactly is going on? You smelled
Hale,
like blood before we fought Harrow.
Hale thinks for a moment and says, "It is a condition of mine that I require to drink blood every few days to avoid a bloodlust."
I'm assuming that Lyle's not an idiot and would know what a vampire is.
I mean, probably not from personal experience, but yeah, like you've heard the stories.
Yeah. So you're a vampire.
Not exactly. But for lack of a better term, yes.
And if you are not getting the blood that you need, does that put the group in danger?
It could potentially.
When's the last time you had a drink?
I don't know, Adam, when was the last time I had a drink?
Roll me a D2. So if you roll a D4, it'll be 1, 2 is 1, 3, 4 is 2.
1.
Okay, like the day before you came here. So it's been all of a
Not
day.
long enough ago to be a problem.
If it gets to be a problem,
I have these. Hale holds up 3 bottles. That's what you smelled. And he puts them back in the secure little pouch that has like little padding around it.
if you run out and it gets to be a problem or something happens, I want you to come to me before it becomes a problem.
I appreciate your concern in the matter. And I take it for what it is. And I thank you. I have to ask. First, I must say, it is a personal ethos of mine that every person is given a choice. To redeem themselves, to repent if they are facing down a path. It was clear to me that he was not an enemy that you dispatched was not in their own faculties when they attacked me. And they did attack me first. Is that going to be a problem with you?
I delight in the fight, not in the kill. My priority is the safety of those who are with me. And from what I saw from this person, he was incredibly powerful. I did not know what other special abilities he may possess. He had already dealt more than a small amount of damage to people I consider to be in my party and therefore friends. And sometimes the safer course is to kill. It is not my first choice, but in this instance, I felt it was the safest thing for the group. And I will not apologize for that.
I appreciate your perspective.
I will say that, again, it is not something that I delight in, and I mourn the loss of a person. But I will kill if I feel it is necessary.
I will give you some food for thought. Based on those criteria that you just laid out, You would have killed me at one point.
If I felt it was necessary, yes, to protect the others.
And that may still be the case.
And I would do so without hesitation if it came to that. Not because I would enjoy it, not because I wish you ill or wish you to be dead. But I will guarantee the safety of those around me as much as I can. I have watched my people suffer and die and wither, and I will not stand by and allow that to happen if it is something that I can prevent.
Hale has a small smile on his face and says, I know that pain more than you would ever know. Not more than you would ever know, that's wrong. I know that pain the same as you, probably more than you know.
I can accept that. Is this going to be a problem between us? Because I will say, I admire you as a fighter. You seem to be a man of great principle. But if it interferes with the safety of the group...
You allowed this person a chance, you did not allow them a second. I can accept that you allowed them a chance. I would sometimes ask that if I would ask that on occasion, you consider that someone might deserve a second one.
From my perspective, he had many chances. And I indicate the room full of bodies. He had many chances. He made his choice repeatedly.
Hale draws out a vial of blood and says, sometimes it's not a choice. Puts it back in and walks away.
Lyle, as you watch Hale walk across the room, somewhere not with your ears, sort of deep in the recesses of your consciousness, you hear a low, lilting laugh that might almost be a growl. And then it's gone.
Is it who I suspect it is?
I genuinely don't know who you expect it
Oh,
is.
okay. Well,
You can ask me later, and I will tell you yay or nay.
I'll ask you later.
So, do you guys move on?
After the short rest.
Yeah.
After a short rest.
Okay. You take your short rest. You
Do
walk.
we want to?
Sorry, go ahead.
As a little, just a housekeeping thing. Do we want to divvy up the money right now?
We can do it off stream, I think.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm gonna do a little thing here, and then we're almost done.
Okay.
So you collectively, one by one, kind of step through the door to the north, and again you feel that sort of strange sensation of travel. When you appear, once again, you appear in a very pleasant forest. Across the way, you see an elven woman. She's sitting on a stone, sees you sort of appear there, out of seemingly nowhere. She stands, draws her sword, but doesn't brandish it. Ah! Magic users. I'll need to see your papers. And that is where we're going to leave it for the night.
Dun dun dun.
So,
I kind of really super hope that this is somebody from Alison's time period, because he would absolutely be like, "Oh, let me reach into my robe here, pull out all of my papers. Here you go. Everything I'm sure you'll find is in order."
That's it. That's the encounter. Game over.
Excellent.
All right. Well, those of you who are watching, thank you so much for watching. We should be back in a couple of weeks with the next leg of our little journey. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, it is a pleasure. Go check out Kit's stream, Seven Tail Fox, TALE. Go check out our friend Epic_Realms. And yeah, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, and have a great night.
Bye.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.